Hey, Andy here. Got a question on one of the videos. I think it was the simple RKE2 install video from Zachman on how to install Argo CD. And I've done videos like this in the past with other products, but I kind of want to do it live. I haven't installed it yet. I've just got a cluster up and running. I've actually got it running on Harvester as a single node. There's my Argo CD, 8x16. We can do get pod. We can say I've got Longhorn running and I've got Rancher running. So what I want to do is just kind of walk through how to install it, and we'll kind of do a little self-discovery at the same time on how to do it, and looking at some of the techniques to install apps and manage apps day one, day two kind of approach. Okay, let's get into it. So Argo has some pretty good documentation. So first thing to do is always go to the products documentation to see what they've got, see what's going on. See they've got getting started, and this is pretty simple, right? Actually, I had it right here. We don't need to go to that tab. Getting started, install Argo, create the namespace, and then apply a YAML. If you're ever curious on what the YAML is going to do, go ahead and copy that URL and paste it to a new tab, and we can actually go start looking at it. So we can see it's creating a CRD. It's a custom definition. You can tell there's quite a bit of stuff here. Okay. What's interesting is I've also found the Helm chart for Argo. But I find it interesting that they're saying go just install straight from their YAML, which sometimes when you install from a YAML, they're obviously really descriptive, right? They have the exact way to do it. So let's go ahead and do. So let's just go. Let's follow their instructions. Actually, real quick before we do that, Helm. So 26027. So let's see if there's Helm. So there's a Helm. Okay, so in the user guide, you can deploy with Helm, I guess. How to install Helm charts through the UI, declarative GitOps. Oh no, this is for using Helm, not deploying Helm with Helm. User guide, operational manual, installation. We're not doing multi-tenant, high availability core, customize. I will say that is one of the things. Oh, here we go. Helm. Oh, okay. Here's the trick. It's community maintained. So what that's basically telling you is they're not 100% responsible for it. Which is kind of a cop-out, but kind of a thing. Okay, so this is what I found in terms of the chart. Oh, wait, that's a different project, is it? Let's go to it and let's just see real quick and see if it's the same one. It is, yeah, the same one. I was hoping they would have like, here's the install guide. Oh, there's the HA, ingress config, SSL term. Yeah, we're not setting up certs. This is just a demo cluster. Multiple ingress domains, ALS load balancer, GKE. They got a lot of examples here. Okay. Let's follow the quick start because that might be the simplest path. But I would highly recommend looking at the Argo Helm chart because it's going to give you a lot more options to customize, right? Because if we go back here to the getting started and we simply apply this, we'll go ahead and do that now. So create the namespace and then do the apply. Wow, that's a lot of objects. And what we can do is we can actually log into Rancher. Whoop, wrong one. Here's my Rancher local. And by the way, this is for giggles. Ingress 158S slip, 158S slip. So this is what's going on. We can go to workloads and we can see the repo server is coming up. I'll give that a second. Cool, that appears to be up. No, didn't create a second ingress, which I thought was interesting. So kind of hoping it would do an ingress. And then under Argo, everything seems to be running under Argo. Let's go back to the quick start. If you're not interested in the UI as a manufacturer, you can install only the core components. Now we want all that. That's the good stuff. We'll have a self sign. That's fine. We don't have to change the namespace. Download CD, access to the API server. So maybe this isn't given. ingress. Log in with the CLI, register to deploy apps, create an application, forget. We kind of want the GUI, right? That's interesting. They didn't, right here it doesn't say access the GUI. Well, it says ingress. Okay. So let's just try this right now. So we'll go ahead and do a port forward. And I'm SSH'd into that box. I need to be in the local box. Actually, we're gonna do a different approach. We're gonna create an ingress object for it because that's sometimes just much easier. So let's get ingress. And let's do, let's take a look at this rancher one. What I'm going to actually output the YAML. This is a neat little trick. Because boom, now I've got the YAML. And we only need like this half. So let me open up my code editor, ignore all that. That was from a blog post on how to deploy stuff. So here's our ingress. By the way, we don't need any of these. Let me think real quick. Nope, we don't need any of the annotations. Make sure I got it right. Yep. We don't need the labels, the generation, or the annotations. We don't need that. And this is going in, what do we call the namespace? Okay, NS, Argo CD, right? Yeah, Argo. Make it descriptive, call that Argo. Now the question is, okay, so that tells us right here, Argo server service on port 8080. No, 443. Outside, inside. So let's go back here. So that's 443. And that's going to be the Argo server. And then my favorite, cat EOF. EOF. Go back to my shell, paste it in. Cool, created. We see it's created, so it looks like it's not connected. Let's go to the ingress documentation, just make sure I'm doing this right. They recommend ambassador. Okay, that's interesting. Contour. Yeah, let's pick none of the default ingress controllers. There we go. SSL pass-through. Well, that works. Oh, it wants to terminate TLS. Oh, that's cool. Oh, SSL termination at the controller. No, we're not doing traffic. Okay, it has it in here. SSL pass-through. Let me think real quick. I wonder. Let's see if this works. Argo CD, yes, pass through, force redirect. Let's give it the right URL. And that says, okay. I'm just looking right now at the, it should work. Let's just create another one. You can have more than one ingress object. That is not a crime. So let's paste that one. According to yield, oh, it's the same. Oh, the host. That is a crime. You can't have the same one. So let's give it Argo CD 2. Accepted. Let's get ingress. Okay, that worked. No, wait, my first one worked. Well, let's try it. Because it does need to validate it. Womp womp. Okay, let's try number 2. Oh, because it went to HTTPS. I'm not sure if I've got SSL pass-through enabled. Too many redirects. Yeah, so what's happening right now is it's bouncing. Let's go back to the docs. We don't need that one. Annotation. I did a video on this a long time ago about SSL pass-through. Let me see if I still have it. Because I think that's what's happening right now. I should have it actually. I think I know where I might have that code. Hold on. When I deploy RKE2 yeah. Builds it. Let me just see real quick. This is an old script I had. Because Rancher does SSL pass-through. But here I put the real cert on. Let me see if I have it enabled on this. This may look a little manic. But basically this is the config for deploying RKE2. So it's RKE2 config, in case you're curious. I thought I had SSL pass-through in it. Let's go to the Googs. Hold on. Host names SSL, enable SSL pass-through. Okay, I remember now. kubectl get deploy -a. So these are all the deployments. What we're looking for is kube system. Should be ingress. Oh, it's a daemon set. Boop. There we go. Ingress controller. So kubectl edit daemon set -n. Cool. And what we're looking down, we're going down to the spec into the config. And we can do it anywhere, do a tick, and then do enable SSL pass-through. All this is basically doing is telling, come on, let me copy. It's just telling Nginx to allow SSL pass-through. Yep. And then what we'll see is the actual pods. Well, we'll see the pods bounce because it's got the new config. And we look under kube system. So it's terminating one, and the other one will come back in a second. Okay. And then this should allow, so we'll go look at the ingress again. I want to delete their ingress because I don't, well, I'm going to delete my ingress. Whew, excuse me. I'm going to get ingress. And then what we're going to do is I'm deleting both because why not? Cool. Both deleted. Go back to my notes. And then we'll change this to regular. And then, so we'll only have one. Ingress. Woo. Enable. Failed to call webhook. Still terminating. Okay. Let's force it. So there is a -- force grace period 0. That will actually kill the pod. And we can see the new one's up and running. Give it a sec to come up. And running, perfect. Now, now we can paste our new ingress object. So it doesn't have to be, so it can go through the validation stage, and that worked. You can get pod, kubectl, get ingress, learn to spell, Cool. Although it's still saying HTTP, which I don't. It's supposed to be HTTPS. We don't need that. We're not doing Let's Encrypt. The other option is we can use, I can redo this and have a wildcard cert for one of my domains, so I can use that. Object rules, annotation acceptance. Okay. Let's go ahead here, and it's not Argo. Let's go ahead and get the ingress. The fact that it's not saying 443 makes me a little concerned. Make sure Rancher's still working. Hello, come on. That's not a good. So it looks like it's not working. So I must have broken. I must have broken it. Why are you now not working? I'm going to totally remake this video if this doesn't work. I always do get logs. I don't know why I do that. Sync. Looks like it's working. Oh, now it's working. Okay, so it just took its time coming up. So let's try this. And huzzah. Boom. Okay, cool. Short story long. Figure out your cert situation, right? Follow the instructions and figure out your cert situation. Okay. Admin. Oh, there's a secret. Okay, so it's admin password. So real quick, what this is telling you is the initial password. That's funny how they don't tell you how to get into it. They go ingress. They go, great. Now you got to log in through the UI. That doesn't, the CLI, that doesn't help. But initial admin is this, there's a secret. So kubectl get secret, Argo CD, initial admin secret, -o YAML. So there's the secret. And you got two choices, right? You can do, actually, what is it? JSON. Do I have JQ? I should have JQ. Let's see what the JSON looks like. I always go to JQ because that's my fallback. And I want data. And then I want password. And then we can pipe that word. We can pipe that to base64-D code. And lowercase d, invalid input. Oh, because I need it. Because it's got quotes, so I do it raw. And there's the initial password. And we'll go back here, and that should be admin password. Huzzah! Yay, it worked. Okay. This took a roundabout way. Lessons learned. First thing is figure out what you're doing with certs, right? Certs are always a pain in the butt. All these applications want to either terminate SSL or be, behind TLS. Number two, whatever application you're looking to deploy, go to their documentation. Usually it's pretty good. You might have to do a little detective work like we did. The fact that they're saying in the get started, and I'll put a link to this as well. But the fact that they're saying, oh, no, just use this one YAML, everything will work. And then they don't quite spell out like logging to the CLI or logging to the UI, getting that initial password. I'll put this command for you in the show notes as well, Zach. But go to the documentation, follow the quick start, and then I personally think you probably want to go to Helm if you're trying to make these deployments of Argo reproducible, right? Because again, Helm is a CI, continuous integration, right? So keep the same methodology for deploying your infrastructure apps as you are trying to deploy your real apps. Okay. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully this scratches that itch for Argo. And I'll also put in the show notes a link to a video I did about the other 5 ways to install with Rancher. Because by the way, the first thing I did is deployed a Rancher and went in here and just typed in the application name, right? Argo. It wasn't here. Because it would be really interesting, case in point, like Nats. I was hoping it was a single like click install default namespace. No, let's create. Leave it in the default namespace. You'd want to create a namespace for it. And just hit install. I was hoping it was as quickly as this. It's not. Argo's a little more specific. The other thing I want to kind of point out, I know you're asking about Argo. Rancher comes with a continuous delivery tool, CD tool, called Fleet. And Fleet's actually real easy to manage and deploy. I got a video on that too. Maybe worth a check out. So I'll put the 2 videos in. I'll put a link to the Argo instructions, the quick start. Hopefully this helps. Please like, share, and subscribe. You know, that's that YouTube stuff. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.